Okay, hello everybody. This is Black Mesa Source. This is a remake of Half-Life 1 that was done by a third-party developer, Crowbar Collective. So we're going to be getting into this run right away. This is the no Voidclip category, which I'll explain what that is later. We're just going to get right into it now. So timing starts when I start loading this. So we're going to do that in 3, 2, 1, go. So this is the first thing we'll be seeing a lot of in this game, is loading screens. But now we're actually in the video game and we can start doing things. So, unfortunately, first chapter of this game suffers from slow start syndrome, and we just have to do a lot of waiting. But this gives me time to figure out how I need to explain this entirely different movement mechanic, because as someone who's done a lot of marathon runs for Half-Life and Portal and stuff, I've explained the same things movement-wise many a time that people have heard many a time. But this game has interesting sliding movement instead. So basically, the way that this works is that for some reason, the Black Mesa devs decided to add back in this movement to the Zen release of the game when it came out. So basically, this game had like no cool movement otherwise, but essentially what happens is that when you're crouched, your friction gets lowered dramatically so that you are able to slide on the ground and keep momentum. On top of that, if you remain crouched, you can build speed instead of losing it, where normally if you're standing, you would end up losing all your speed when you jump, so we don't have to deal with that, thankfully. So our goals for this first chapter are going to be the same as always. We just want to get the suit, and we want to make our way to the test chamber to watch a big cutscene that's going to be lots of fun. So along the way, we're going to be doing some casual source strats here, like moving NPCs by bonking them in the head, which I unfortunately did not do there. It's a very minor time save, but one that I wanted to get either way. So nice suit animations with some nice music behind it. This game's got a great soundtrack, thankfully, so hopefully that's going to be a good amount of fun. And going into this first chapter here, we're just going to basically be dealing with the very loud test chamber. During that time, there's not going to be too much going on, so I'll try to make everything interesting as much as I can. But it'll be a great time to take a bathroom break, get some water in you, maybe make some food, whatever you need to do. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be doing a strat called a prop clip, where we basically need to rub our bodies against this barrel until it decides it wants to go inside of us. This can take anywhere from instantly to quite a while, and now that it has done that, the game now thinks that we are stuck inside this prop, which we are. So its reaction to that is going to be to pull us downward every single time we save load by about a couple dozen units. So that's going to allow us to clip downward to skip a good amount of cutscene on this map. So I had to go hit a trigger there so that this guy could open up the door for me. I'm going to throw away his coffee. Not a big fan. And now we have cutscene. Fun cutscene time. So if there's anything that needs to be read, anything you can say, it's going to be dead for the next couple of minutes. Not too much going on, so feel free.
This is the purest sample we've seen yet, and potentially the most unstable.
But either way, we're just going to jump around, hop on top of these guys' heads, be a general nuisance. So this game actually has a pretty interesting history so far with speedrunning. Its development history in general has been quite long and quite involved. So this mod originally came out in, I believe, 2012 is when the earlier versions started coming out. And people started doing runs of them pretty early on in the game's life, but everything was significantly different to what it was now. Originally, the game had pretty similar mechanics to Half-Life 2, I believe, where there was like accelerated backhopping, and you could do a lot of crazy stuff with that. But as time went on, a lot of the mechanics changed over and over again. So there's like 3 or 4 major versions of this game now that people use for runs. There's the mod version that came out like a really long time ago that pretty much no one plays anymore, but it's still on the boards and everything. And after that, it's the release that did not include Zen, the release that includes Zen, and now the modern release, which is the version I'm not running on, because that version patched out a bunch of movement and a bunch of things that we wanted to be able to do fast. Made basically the game a lot more linear, gave you less options of where to go, and often the options that were taken away were the ones that we were using, unluckily. So unfortunately, this version's a lot faster, despite technically being a pre-release version, but it is entirely a finished product and considered unreleased only in name. Still had to pay for it and everything. So
Yeah, we haven't got any donations yet, but we do have some incentives and bit wars still open for people to donate towards. So especially the pencil sharpening simulator, with an extra pencil for extra workouts, you should donate the remaining $14. So Zook will get one more blister on his hands when he has to sharpen those pencils tomorrow. And we have a few bit wars still coming up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have, I'll monitor the donations. If there's some moment in the run, I can say them.
So yeah, we're almost at the end of the waiting here. So what's going on here is that Gordon was late for work. He's just a run-of-the-mill dude, went to MIT, nothing's too special about him. But he's wearing a nice suit, nice little protective suit that's going to give him a lot of adrenaline over the next couple days. And he arrived late, and things aren't going completely as planned, but we're going to continue with the testing anyway, because we are nice people. So similarly to how the UAC was messing around with portals and caused demons to come from hell, Black Mesa messed around with portals is causing aliens to come from a different dimension. So pretty similar events going on here, just very different presentation. Gordon Freeman is definitely not a Doom guy. So yeah, everything's going bad. Nothing happy is happening right now. Unfortunately, we do not have any skips for this part like we do in Half-Life 1 now. We have to sit through the entirety of this test chamber sequence, but thankfully, only a minute or a couple, 2 or 3 more minutes of cutscene remain before we have a pretty good stretch of gameplay.
Heck, there's actually been 3 donations after
there you go.
when I so is this a good time?
Yep, go for it.
Alright, so first off, Sajiki donated $10 saying Sasuke is running and Hungarian because he's in Hungary. He's hungry for the win. I heard this actual live just a few seconds ago on the Discord. This quotation was from Philo Tracks, so thanks Sajiki and Philo.
Thanks, Philo.
Let's Blade donated $5 without a message, and Anonymous donated $33 saying, here's something to read during the cutscene. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We need reading. We need reading for these cutscenes. We only got a little bit more waiting to go, so we're going to go talk to our good friends from Half-Life 2, Eli and Kleiner, for a little bit. Do not get out of here. So, we're soon going to be able to start the game. And now, thankfully, the game sets up for a really nice joke here, where if you get hurt a little bit, which I did not, we'll get hurt a little bit later on, the HP goes to quite the funny number. So, look forward to that. Nice funny joke coming up. So these guys are just going to do their thing. We just kind of have to wait for them to deal with it. But yeah, these are our good buds from Half-Life 2. They're just kind of hanging out here, not having a good time.
Thank God for that hazard suit. All the phones are out. I can't reach anyone in the facility. Need to get to the surface and let someone know.
So this is a cutscene that you will never see in Half-Life 1 because during the or after the resonance cascade happens, you skip to about like the next room in this map. And no teleports today. But basically, we just have to wait for these guys to talk. We're going to cause him to walk over to that door or teleport. Nope. There we go. That's all you need. Come on. Okay. So he'll open the door, and we'll be able to go in here. We'll be able to have a very funny number on our number thing. You can't tell I'm starved for content right now, but soon we're going to have some content. There you go. Look at that humor. Excellent. This is what we've all been waiting for with this run. Are you guys excited to have another like hour and a half of me? I'm sure you are. Either way, let's get going with the speedruns. So now we can actually kind of start using the sliding movement more in the game because we can actually like go places instead of just sitting, standing still and not doing anything. So we're just going to be trying to use the sliding movement to get ourselves towards the end of all these chapters as quick as we can. So I think an interesting thing about this game, especially as someone who is significantly a Half-Life 1 runner at heart, it's the game I've by far put the most time into, and by far the game I've dedicated the most into. This game has a lot of very minor differences, and also a lot of very major differences in how its routes are portrayed. For instance, this part of the game is very similar to Half-Life 1, except with the movement being extremely different. The entire path is the exact same. We're pretty much doing the exact same thing for this entire chapter after we get past that cutscene. But there's a lot of other chapters that are significantly different in ways that are both faster and slower. So it's very, very interesting to play this game as someone who's ran the original game. This is actually done on 0.9. The 1.0 version is multiple minutes slower like they basically just changed a lot of the pathing for some of the maps, so we have to run on 0.9 to go fast. But we've been running this game for like 7 years on versions, so I don't think... For us, it's like this version has been a release for a while. But either way, we're going to be moving on past here, not getting licked. We're going to activate a trigger over there, and then we can climb up here to say hi to our friend G-Man. And he disappears. 0.9 will include all the Zen maps, yes. So either way, we're going to be activating this lever. Second part of this here puzzle, very complicated. Now we can move our way into this freezer and move on with our lives. That's one of the slightly different things for this chapter, but this chapter is overall very similar in pathing. So we're going to be jumping through here. For instance, on 1.0, this path was blocked off entirely. We can just freely go this way. This is as you could in Half-Life 1, but in the 1.0 version, there is a wall that prevents you from taking this faster path. I suppose they just wanted to make the game a bit less maze-like, because that is a common complaint with like Half-Life sort of games in general, is that they can be confusing to navigate, because that's just how games kind of were when everything looked the exact same. So, oh, trust me, there's going to be a crash at least one point in this run. You just wait for it. It's coming. It'll come much later down the line, but there's guaranteed going to be at least one. There's no way there isn't going to be. Either way. We did a strat there called a save delete. Basically, for practice, the devs have a bunch of default saves that they can load onto particular maps so that they can basically go to any map and play test it and do stuff like that. It's just a nice little thing that you can do for, you know, testing the game and everything. But that system we ended up being able to exploit by making a save under the name colon, like, you know, the colon for the :3 or whatever. The Windows cannot actually save a file with a colon in it, so Windows fails to create the file, but the game still thinks that it has been created. So instead of that file being loaded, the game will load one of those default saves that the devs were using for playtesting, and we can use that to get certain weapons and items that otherwise we wouldn't be able to, as well as just replenish our HP and armor. And it's going to be a strat used a lot throughout this run, especially in the later half. So, in Half-Life 1, one of the most difficult and recent routes is a route to skip the electricity that involves having to manage your HP through the entire run up to this point. But instead, in Black Mesa, we can just save load, so you guys can look at this wonderful loading screen that you're going to become very accustomed to, these words loading, especially later on in the game when the loading times are complete garbage because Zen maps are humongous. Don't get too bad until the end of the run, though, so thankfully for now, we just have to spam save loads a lot to do these sort of tricks. Source engine and save loading is basically the biggest travesty that this engine has in it, is that the save load mechanic is just obscenely broken in every single game that saves and loads are in, which is every Source game, as it turns out. So, basically expect all of that. What am I doing in the console? Oh, yes. That trick, excuse me. I forgot to explain that. That's actually a good one. I'll explain that when it comes up next. Completely forgot about that one. Good reminder. Either way, so that's going to be coming up on this map, actually. It's going to be called Quantum Pause. So, basically, you can bind commands to any key in this game. So one of the binds that we can set to one of our keys is for both opening the console and unpausing the game at the same time. It sounds like a very weird thing to do, and it's something that no person should ever do. Why am I doing that? Let's try that again.
Behind you.
So, Basically, we throw this grenade and then we can cook another one. And what this will basically do is it will cause us to be able to store the damage that we were taking, because basically Gordon will freeze, but everything in the server will not freeze. So grenades will still blow up and give me momentum, but I will stick in my position until I unpause the game, which allows me to store damage that I'm going to be getting and makes it easier to make some boosts happen. So otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do the Barney skip there, which skips, going into the freezer. And it's called Barney skip in Half-Life 1, which is a bad habit of me calling it that, because in Black Mesa, we don't call it that. Either way. So we got hostiles now. This is a chapter that you normally entirely skip in Half-Life 1, but we're going to be going through the entirety of it right now. So this is one of the coolest movement segments in the game, in my opinion. If you can keep your flow going for this entire thing, it looks really nice. And it's just kind of a good sentiment to how the movement in this game feels and how nice it is and smooth it is to do if you get good at the game. Would have been pretty excellent if I was able to not get nicked on that corner. But either way, we're going to drop down, murder this man, give him a good dose of lovin', and we're going to use this elevator. Turning on no clip is for Half-Life 2 runs only. That's not going to be done in this game. Well, kind of is, but not actually. Either way. So we're going to do another save delete. It's going to put us at the top of that elevator, but more importantly, it's going to give us an SMG with an SMG nade. SMG nades are probably the most important commodity in the Black Mesa Research Facility, just because these things are able to boost you with, you know, explosives, and they do it really fast compared to pretty much anything else. So whenever we get one of those, we're going to want to abuse it in some way. Ideally, you use that grenade to boost up there without being really slow. But we're going to try that one more time. There we go. That's what Quantum Pause is useful for. And then we can use that grenade to boost to the end of this map, because we're just going to be doing a save delete on the next map anyway. So we can basically use as much resources as we want on these maps, because we can just get them all back later. So save deleting here is going to allow us to skip this entire big-ass elevator. We don't want to sit through that. That's not good. And we're now done with that. We can do another grenade boost. We can drop down here. So one thing about save deleting that is a bit unfortunate is that Half-Life 1 resource management is one of the most important factors of the run. You need to manage how much HP you have, armor you have, ammo you have at pretty much every point of the game. In this game, save deleting completely negates that. You never have to worry about any of that except on the particular maps that you're on, and you just need to make sure that you're save deleting at the correct times, and you will pretty much be completely fine in your resource management. It's great that it obviously allows us to do a lot of really fast strats and a lot more strats that we would otherwise be able to do, but it's always a little bit sad that the resource management isn't a thing at all. And I have to murder that man to go fast, otherwise I can't hit that button and open that door, so F for that guy. He has to go out for speed. No fun. So we're going to break the wall here, move on. Normally you drop down a big hole in the middle of the room, but that hole isn't here. And we have to climb down some ladders to get to the bottom of this area. And say hi to a head crab. Hello. So now we just need to drop down this elevator shaft, which we can very easily do just by hopping off the elevator, or the ladders, excuse me. I called it an elevator. I guess it is an elevator shaft. And I guess I'll get the shotgun that was definitely here, and I definitely knew about it being there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to be doing some grenade boosts to go real fast here, and we're going to be doing a real neat launch at the end of this path. It's kind of tricky to do, so let's hope we can get it quickly here. There we go. Very nice. We can launch all the way to this pipe here, get right to the next part of Black Mesa Blast Pit, the name of the chapter we're on. Grab some HP there, and I can't do a strat that I found today, unfortunately, because that dude was mispositioned, but that's okay. Excuse me, guys. So now we get to sit in this elevator for a while. So, going into Blast Pit, which is, if you know this in Half-Life 1, I'm going to keep making these comparisons. You have to go to 3 different levels of the pit. You have to activate electricity and gas in order to fight a boss fight at the end of this chapter. We're going to go right to the boss fight. So we're going to save delete immediately to get our HP a little bit higher up, because we're going to want as much as we can. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to attempt to do another quantum pause boost right here off of those, and thankfully we were able to get it. That one sometimes doesn't give you the distance necessary, but I like to try to go for that strat because it's really cool looking. That's what you're looking for. So we get teleported to a different part of the world, literally, if you look at the coordinates, but ignore that. So now we're inside this room, and we get to say hi to our tentacle monster. He's going to be a good friend of ours. He's going to help us out coming up in a little bit here. So the first thing that I would think of when I saw a tentacle monster like that is, man, I really wish that thing would get inside Gordon so that I could clip down into the floor. So we're going to try to do that. So come on, get inside me. There we go. That's all you need. Hopefully I don't fly off into the side. There we go. Excellent. And now we can use that satchel to boost ourselves into the main shaft here where we're going to get below all of these enemies. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Okay, never mind. That is a blessing. So I was very scared there that, oh, whoa, this is a little sketch. This is a little sketch. Come on, come on. We can do it. I believe. Okay. Oh. Come on, we can do this. Worst case scenario, I can load this save. Wait a little bit of extra time. See what this guy's gonna do, and save load again in order to go back down. Try it again. So basically, that enemy can instant kill you from far below quite easily. So yeah, that can happen, and that happens in runs all the time. So, whoops. So now we're going to use this satchel here that we got. We're going to place it down. We're going to boost off of it to get some speed so that we can make this nice little strafe jump. Woo! Woo, look at that. The sick vert, bro. XD. Okay, so either way, we're going to save delete once again because we need to get all the HP and armor we can get for a very silly strat that I lost 5 minutes on yesterday during my no reset run. So hopefully that doesn't happen. So what we need to do is we need to get prop clipped here, but we need it to be relatively fast because there's a big monster behind us who wants to light us up. Unfortunately, this is not happening fast enough, so I'm just going to quickly load a hard save and try it again. So once again, I'm going to try pushing my way against this prop. I want it to go inside me also, so that I can go into the ground. It's a common theme that we're going to be experiencing here, and I needed it to happen relatively quickly. There we go. So now I can place these trip mines. And ideally, this should send me to the other side of this wall. And it did, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord that did not take me 5 minutes like it did yesterday, because I just threw my wall against, or my face against that and it didn't work. But either way, we can save delete here and we can start on a rail where a nice song is going to play while we can't do anything. So you can read some donations if any more came in. Lord. But,
oh yeah, we got one donation actually.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, Razor Flame donated $5, saying thanks for hosting Hekathon. Thank you, Razor Flame.
All right, thank you so much for donating. Keep doing it, please. So either way, letting that dude get us up there. So I did a strat a little bit earlier where I save loaded in order to get off of that vehicle a little earlier than you were supposed to. So when you get off of the car in this game, it's supposed to stop and basically force you to sit on it and just wait and just do it correctly. It really wants you to do it correctly. If you don't do it correctly, it'll, stop it. But we can just save load to push ourselves past that trigger that would cause it to stop. Once again, save loading fixes all of our problems, but also creates so many others. If you ever have been part of the Half-Life speedrun community, you know that there's a lot of issues that save loading can cause in the community. Either way, cough void clips. Either way, moving on. I'm going to keep saying the same things. Oh, don't worry. We are going to activate this car, keep moving forward. say goodbye to our friends, and move on with our lives. We can just sit on this car. We don't really need to rush anything right now because we need to wait for this boy anyway. Yeah, I could, if the restreamer is very quiet, I could take this time to turn it up right now. But I would that be cool, Heggy? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Okay, I'll boost you up another like 10%
sure.
or so.
Thanks.
I have to wait here anyway, so let's do that. Boost that up. We want to hear your beautiful voice a bit more.
Perfect.
So yeah, I guess I'll explain what void clips are now because there's actually, I don't know why I said I was going to explain that later because there would have been no opportunity to explain it in this run given the title of it. So a void clip is a very, very awful strat that is in the source engine where essentially when you are in the complete out of bounds void in the source engine, I need to do this. What am I doing? When you're completely in the out of bounds void, you will basically get stuck in the void and you will get stuck at a particular speed, which is determined by the tick rate of the game. So I don't know exactly what the game's tick rate is. So I believe the number is around 4.9 units per second that you'll get pushed downward in the void. But if you save load perfectly, you can actually traverse through the void without losing that, or without going down to that speed number that you don't want to be going down to, because then you just get stuck in the void. So a void clip is performing tick perfect, which a tick is essentially a frame, a tick perfect save load, but you know, the difficult part about it isn't necessarily the tick perfect save loads. It's the fact that you have to do about like 70 or 80 of them. So like, the real problem with it is that loading screens exist, so you have to just kind of look at a blank screen for about like, you know, upwards of sometimes 6 or 7 minutes in some void clips cases. So as a community, both Half-Life 2 and Black Mesa have decided to make a run that, you know, just kind of ignores that part of the game. Ignores the fact that you can do that. The main reason that does save time is because of the way that the auto splitter works. It does not record time that the game is paused. So void clipping literally takes you distance instantly. No time can pass. It's quite the mechanic. So we're gonna move on forward here. My HP isn't too great here, so I'm gonna end up save deleting in order to get my HP a little bit higher up. I could have healed a little bit earlier instead of save deleting here, but save deleting will also get me some other goodies. So we're going to start cooking this grenade because we want it to boost us over to the end of here because we'll have enough HP otherwise. And if you notice, I've been trying to do this like ladder speed thing. It's a really weird mechanic where if you like uncrouch and jump like a tick later or something, you can go up. It's very strange. So now we're going to be doing a nice fun strat involving quantum pause boosting, but we're going to be getting boosted by the butt of a man's gun. So this guy's going to say hi to us, and he's going to slap us a little bit, or he's just going to kind of like rub his face against me a little bit, I suppose. I suppose that you can do that too. I won't say no. Please stop what you're doing, though. I really need you to cooperate with me here. Okay, there you go. So he's giving me some slappies, and after enough slappies, you can get caught on something else, and it doesn't work. So you can try it again by loading your quick 01 save, and you can do this again. Give me some slappies. There we go. And now we can fly to the top of the map. We can go under the map in order to skip the rocket sequence that you normally have to watch at this point. So what we need to do here is I need to crouch and then walk forward a little bit. And now you're going to be looking at this whole loading screen for a little bit. So we have some time to get to know each other while looking at the same frame of gameplay for probably around 20 more seconds. So you could also read a donation if you'd like.
I haven't got any right now.
All right, no problem. Keep in mind, there's more loading screens coming up, so if you want to not be bored, get those donations in. Because as much as this game is a really cool run, the loading screens are never very cool. I will admit that. So we're almost there. We did it. So we can just try to drop down into this electric water, which will break our fall, and we can move on with our lives. So I'm going to just go forward without the truck here, or the train, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to immediately save delete as I get into this map, which will put me back in the train, and I'm going to use it to go forward because it will open the path for me to continue. Let's actually save delete. Yeah, so all that save loading I just did before, a void clip, imagine it took about like 3 or 4 times as long for a short void clip. So there we go, apprehension. We're going to drop down here, thankfully not die. And we're just going to kind of swim our way through the water. Like a, you know, holding W, doing our thing. Please stop that. Please stop. Please stop that. Okay, now we're gonna get spooked by a fish coming up here. He's gonna eat our good friend here. So sad. And we're gonna drop down into the water and open this lever. I don't know if this is what you're supposed to do in the first game. I always just go over there and continue with my life, but this game has you go down here, which is very confusing to me. As someone who's beaten Half-Life 1 100 times or more than that or whatever, playing through this game casually was quite the maze. Just because they changed things a little bit. Is everything okay? In the chat, thought people were making. I thought the mic was messing up. Either way, keep going here. Gonna boost over this. We're gonna say hi to our good old friend here. Give him a nice love tap, and we're gonna keep moving on. Throw in our satchel here. SMG nade over there to kill all of these enemies, which will let this guy let us into his home. So here we go. We are gonna say hi to this guy. I could just shoot him and we'd get a game over, but I don't think that would be very productive for our goals here. So I'm gonna hold off for now, at the very least. I don't actually know if I can kill him after he opens the door. Voidclip is a particular trick. It is in the source engine that we're not using in this run because it is very boring.
If you're bent on reaching the Lambda complex, then you will want to keep to the older industrial areas where the security system is full of holes. It's worked for me so far.
Let's try it. Cool. Good to know. Good to know we can murder that man. We'll keep that in mind. Gordon Freeman loves murder. You'll learn that very well in the Half-Life speedruns. So, continuing, we're going to always go left whenever we're at an intersection in one of these vents throughout the entire game. That is true. Always go left. For some reason. Maybe that's a Doctor Who joke. Who knows? I don't actually know that show too well, but I've seen that one episode. But you always go left when there is an intersection in this game. Okay, shoutouts to the dude who made the music for this game, Joel Nielsen. Chill dude. Subbed to me on Twitch when I played through this game casually and when I started speedrunning it. So he's a very, very cool guy. And he made really good work for this game. This game's soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal, and I would check it out on YouTube if you enjoy it here, because it is pretty chill to put on when you're doing other things. So we're going to get captured here. These guys are going to beat us up. And now we're just gonna get dragged to wherever we need to go.
Nice hit.
So a little bit of a cutscene here we can chill with.
You got him. All right, come on, give me a hand here.
So you don't know what these military dudes are even doing with us. The Black Mesa facility is basically trying to think of the good word here because my brain is being dummy. It is a underground research facility that is funded by the government of the United States in this game's world. And these soldiers here are the Hazardous Environment Containment Unit. They are sent here because word of the Resonance Cascade and of the experiments happening at Black Mesa getting out to the public would be extremely terrible for the US government in this game's world. So they are sending these soldiers here to completely silence anyone and everything that happened here, including all the scientists, security guards, everybody. So it's very, very, very messed up that what's going on here. And all this guy's trying to do is trying to just not die. And then he gets caught up in some interdimensional warfare, and it's not great for him. So they left us down there, but most importantly, they left us a bucket, because they knew if we had this bucket that we'd be able to get out. Sometimes, if the bucket wants to get stuck in us, then we can go down into the floor. Because again, anything put inside Gordon will cause him to go through the floor. And there we go. We're going through the floor, and we can skip the crusher sequence. So we're just gonna keep waiting here. There's a weird push trigger here, so we have to take this really slow route around, and there we go. We got out of the crusher. Thankfully, that only took one try, because that trick can take anywhere from one try to you gotta reset, so. That meaning multiple minutes, because the bucket is really strange, and also I'm bad at making saves in the correct places. So now we can continue into the actual chapter, which kind of cool thing to me is that they don't actually give you the chapter start text until you're about a little bit of the way into the chapter for some of them, like right here. So now that we're in residue processing, this is where all the toxic waste and all that sort of stuff is dumped after, you know, they deal with some interdimensional portal stuff. So we're going to get this guy's gun and also the little bit of battery juice that he had on him. And we're going to keep making our way through all this crazy stuff. So I'm taking the scaredy boy route there. I don't want to risk falling down and making an embarrassment of myself and forcing you guys to see another loading screen like this one. So now we're going on to the next map of this kind adventure, and this is going to introduce some conveyor belts to us, which aren't as nearly as broken as they were in the Gold Source Half-Life game, but they still give us a little bit of boost when we jump on them, so they're quite fun to mess around with. So dropping down into this pool water, swimming our way down. We're just getting tugged along on this wonderful adventure through all of this probably poop and other not great things that you don't want to be swimming through. It's really not pleasant. So we're just going to keep on keeping on with that. Swimming our way through, and we're going to eventually be able to get a revolver up here, which is going to be quite nice, because that pistol is absolutely worthless. It is as bad as the Glock in Counter-Strike, if that is possible. So either way, now that we actually have a usable gun in the game, we're going to open up the end of the map here by flipping that switch. Dropping down and moving onward. So we're going to save delete here because we want to get put towards where we need to go on the map, and also because I want to get some more supplies. And we're going to try to make our way through. This is going swimmingly. We're going to try to make our way through this cycles here. Unfortunately... What? I didn't even know about this. Unfortunately, you cannot go through these cycles as quickly as you can in Half-Life 1. You can really only skip 1, maybe 2 pistons at a time without getting murdered by getting crushed. And you can't really go above these things at all because they don't stay down for long enough, so it's a little bit of a mess. What? Okay. Don't worry about this. Okay, there we go. So we're going to get this satchel with us, drop it down here, so we can boost through this area with it. You can actually get through that without a satchel, but it's quite hard. And this is good. Look at these good hitboxes. There we go. Some NA aim for you here on this very European marathon. So now we can drop down to the end of the chapter. Whew, that was nice. Normally don't make that jump. And now we can climb up here. I actually have a good amount of HP to justify not save deleting here, which is nice. Normally I do have to save delete here. I only have like a couple of HP, but right now we're doing all right. So get out of the ladder and shoot that immediately to be able to continue onward. And we're going to slide our way through QE, which is quite the fun chapter to slide through. So fun little history about this this chapter. So originally we had a skip for this chapter that was since then patched out of the Zen release, but that's fine since they added so many extra things for us. You know, patching out the QE skip isn't too big of a deal. The rest of QE is a lot of fun anyway. But we found a new way of skipping QE, and not great. We're not going to do it because it could take anywhere from 2 minutes to like 5 hours, so we're not going to really worry about that. But we essentially found a way that we can clip a prop through a wall, and then we have to clip a prop into ourselves so we can go down into the ground, and then we can use that prop we clip through the wall to clip into the end of the map. But it is really not something that I'm going to say is very doable for runs right now, unless you want to spend hours and hours resetting in the early game. So either way, we're going to take this keyboard with us. No, what? I need... There we go. It's a really nice keyboard. It's one of those like Razer Black Widow, I think they call them. Gordon's a big gamer. He really needs this for his Counter-Strike gameplay. So he's going to take it on an adventure with him. These guys really have no interest in me right now. There we go. So now I'm going to make my way over here, and I'm going to put that on that desk there. Murder you, and start healing here. We're going to heal pretty much all the way up, make sure nothing's following us, and we're going to tilt this keyboard down so that we can push ourselves against it and hopefully go into the ground. So I'm going to make a hard save here to make sure that I don't mess this up, because you can sometimes get this clip and then just not go into the fence, and it's not great. So we're just going to kind of keep hoping that this does something to us. If it doesn't in the next like 10 seconds, I'll probably try it again. This is Half-Life 2 gameplay right here. Black Mesa as well, as it turns out. I don't have any satchels on me, which is a bit of a cause of concern, so I'm going to have to kind of go back a little bit. Ignore this part of the run because none of the, you haven't seen any of this before. So we're gonna slide on the ground like so, and keep going forward, doing all these things that we haven't done before in the run. So don't worry about that. Nothing unusual to see here. So we're just gonna we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna make the same joke about the Razor Black Widow Ultimate or whatever that's called. It's gonna be very funny the second time as it was the first. Good stuff. So, the reason I had to actually reload this here was because I forgot to save delete at all, which I needed to in order to get a satchel or any sort of explosive that will allow us to go. Nice. That will allow us to go through the wall. I got a nice boost there. So once again, we're gonna murder this guy. We're gonna take 2 shots to do it once again because I'm good at the game. We need to murder you. Get out of here. Are you still okay? So once again, take 2. We're gonna no. What? Please don't be too far away. Okay, good. I loaded my hard save. That would have been so sad, but quick save was not close. So we're gonna try this again. We're gonna try going into the wall. We're gonna try going into the ground, keyboard inside Gordon, etc. If we can do that, then we might be able to clip through this fence. Interesting prop clip. I'm not going to complain too much, though. So we're going to throw this satchel. Hopefully, it'll send us through the wall here. There we go. So it basically, that trick can sometimes just not work because sometimes you will not be pushed basically too far out from the fence in order to actually do the clip. So we got to bring all these people with us on our school field trip. We're all running off to the outside. We're gonna have some recess, and we're all really excited. So we're gonna lead the group along here as they're running really fast. Really fun stuff here. Exactly what you want in your speed game. There we go. As much as I'm joking about this game is a fantastic run, by the way. I'd highly recommend all of you to at least consider playing the video game casually. This is a very good very good remake of Half-Life. A lot of people like it significantly more than the original, and with how much better Zen is, I would honestly say that this game is straight up superior to the original Half-Life in terms of a casual experience, so would highly recommend this game. So now we're going to have a cool fight sequence. I don't have any SMGs, which is interesting. I'm not going to murder. Something wild happened out there. So we're just going to continuously murder. That's all we know how to do. This is not going as fast as it could, but that's okay. Oh, is there another boy? No, never mind. Okay, so we just kill all those men with 1 grenade, and now I think the scientists should be happy to come with us, unless there's another boy back here hiding. Okay, good. So the fight's supposed to be a bit longer than this. Fight's supposed to be a little bit longer than this, so we're just kind of getting this badass. It's like, this is what Doom Eternal's like, right? Or Doom 2016. You get this cool music all the time, or when you're fighting things. But in this game, it just keeps continuing. So, you know, we got the music game going over here, you know? Are we the baddies? I mean, everything's trying to kill us first. We're acting in self-defense here. Is that an adaptation to the Assassin's Creed theme? I'd be interested in asking the composer if it had inspiration from that. Come on, buddy. There we go. So now we're on the next map, final map of questionable ethics. Now we're done with all the waiting and all the scientists, so we're just going to zoom our way through to the next map. And there we go, we're at surface tension. Well, we should hit the button to go to surface tension. And now we're going to save delete once more. And we want to save delete here because we might, if you know Half-Life, you may realize that we've forgotten something. But thankfully, we've remembered to get it, and now we have it. So this is the Gauss rifle, and you can do recoil boost with it. So similar to the rifle of the exact same name, I think, in Doom, this thing gives you recoil boosts. So we're going to just kind of slide along this cliff because right below us is a death plane. So if we touch that, Gordon will instantly start fading out of existence and dissipate. And we don't want that because we want to continue with the run. So we're going to keep going with that, and we're going to drop down right in front of this water, which will negate all of our fall damage, and we're just going to keep on keeping on. So next couple maps are just going to be me moving through the maps. Nothing too crazy going on. So if there's anything to read out, feel free to do it.
All right. Well, haven't got any donations since last time, but someone did donate towards the pencil sharpening simulator, and it's only missing $9 for the extra pencil. So it is a 10 pencils drillless in real life %, so, which we actually saw in last year at Hekathon, and this is another run for that. And yeah, so if you want to see a few more blisters on Zuketra's hands, definitely feel that goal. It's tomorrow in like, I don't know, 15 hours, 16 hours, I think.
Let's get that going. Let's get that going right now.
Definitely.
The donation. Get that in there. So, okay, now this upcoming map here, we're going to do, once again, save delete. You're going to hear me say that a little bit more coming into the ender parts of this game, which is great because save deletes require 2 loads, and the loading screens only get worse from here. So, get ready for that. It's going to be good fun when we get to Zen, and then we mess up tricks and have to wait 10 seconds on every load. So hopefully I don't mess up at all. That would be ideal, and that's the goal. But either way, I'm going to drop down, and we're going to let this guy slap us a little bit. Similar to as before, we just want to give him a good old opportunity to just beat us up. And unfortunately, I didn't get an amazing launch there, but I can utilize the seams here to walk around. I'm debating not doing that, actually, because that is going to take forever, and also I'm going to mess up a million times, so I'm just going to do this all again. I'm just going to do this all again by loading a different save. And hopefully, great, I have to save delete, so we're going to do another save, or another load, rather. And now we can try the strat again. That's speedrunning source games for you right there. So we're going to make a hard save this time. Please slap me. Nope. Okay, try that one more time. This strat's a little bit tricky. This is definitely one of the harder boosts in the game to be able to get down. He's very angry at us. There we go. That's what you like to see. And hit that surface there to negate any damage that we would have taken otherwise. Can drop down in front of here and boost our way through. Make it to the next map. Nice and fine and dandy. You got nothing. He was very angry at us. He was shouting his, his insults from when he was back in high school football team. Football if you're from Europe. Or American football, I guess. I was implying whatever. That joke is dead now. Either way, what isn't dead is the continuing speedrun. We're going to be sliding our way past that tank. He's just going to kind of casually roll up. And we're just going to casually slide away. And now we're going to hit this button, and we're going to get these barrels ready for a boost on the next map, but I am slow, so I'm going to have to do it a little bit over here. We're going to place down these barrels, and we're going to do a nice little double barrel boost off of them, and we're going to reload again because I can never get this first try because I'm a child. And there we go. We make our way down, frag out, all the good stuff. And now we need to avoid a bunch of trip mine lasers, and we also need to avoid these head crabs, which are going to inevitably jump into them at some point. That's what happened earlier today for one of my Half-Life 1 runs. They just jump right in these lasers and they just, you know, you just cause all sorts of chaos and death. Now, I'm going to advise that this is a little bit questionable of an animation. I'm just going to let it play out because this is just in the game. And I feel like it's deserving to be watched. But you can tell what's about to happen, I think. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful stuff right there. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Thank you, Crowbar Collective. Thank you so much for all of that. Every single second of that animation is exactly what I needed. That thing is a Hornet, the Hornet gun used by the alien grunts. It is a living, breathing creature that shoots Hornet things out of its mouth and can cause a lot of pain. So now we're moving on from that. I'm not going to talk about that again. We're going to jump off this cactus, and we're going to do some cool KZ movement sort of stuff. We're going to be jumping up this building through very roundabout methods. This is one of my favorite maps in the game just because of all this neat climbing that we do in order to get above this map. It's a very, very unique thing to source. Like, almost never will you see a strat like that. But either way, we're going to jump over that wall, get past this tanky boy here, and move on to the next map. So, we're going to do one more save delete here. Actually, I don't think I needed to here, but I'm going to anyway for safety. Oh, yes, I do need to. Good to know. So, we're going to save delete here. And the reason we want to do that is because we need all 3 of our SMG grenades. And as much as there is 1 SMG grenade here, 1 plus 1 does not equal 3. So, unfortunately, we have to save delete no matter what there. So, the first one we need to use is off of this launch pad, which unfortunately I messed up there. So, let's try that again. We can make our way right up here. Boost onto this... and boost up onto the roof. The roof's a little bit glitchy looking. You're not supposed to be up here, as it turns out. So we're just going to drop down there, take a bunch of fall damage I didn't want to take, but I don't think it'll be a big deal. So we're going to open said door. Blow that up, which will allow us to continue on to the next map by blowing that hole in the wall. Here we go. Okay. So this map has the possibility of taking 1,000,000 years. Hopefully no more than like, you know, a couple minutes. I don't think it'll ever get to that multiple years problem. It's a little bit of a hyperbole, but this map can take forever. So hopefully it doesn't. I have enough leeway that I can take forever on here, but I would still rather not. So this map is significant because it has the IHD from Half-Life 1 in it, and you can't do that in this game, unfortunately, which is very unfortunate because it'd be really, really convenient if you didn't have to save delete so many goddamn times in Zen. But either way, we're just going to shoot a rocket over there to murder some aliens, and we're going to drop down and use this little box with us to go inside the wall. Now, the reason this might take forever is similar to the clip in Questionable Ethics that I only did once, that you only saw me do once. This clip can sometimes just kind of not work if the game doesn't like you. So if it doesn't like me, it's just going to kind of push me out of this wall as soon as I clip into the ground here. Come on, buddy. There we go. So now we're getting shot at constantly, but it won't be a problem. We can just walk into this wall, have a grand old time doing it. So we got a pretty quick clip here. Let's see if it keeps us in the wall. And it seems like it's going to, which is very lucky. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot at this red door. We're going to go into the wall, and we're going to save load a bunch in order to clip past the wall. This is called escort skip. It skips us having to go get a scientist and then drag him around and kill all the enemies that are currently shooting at us to open this door for us. And then he's going to immediately die after that anyway. So we're not even really helping him out by escorting him. So we're just going to kind of do this until we clip into the wall. So just kind of like chill out for a bit. You can take a look at the pretty pictures like that man in his nice red hat. And eventually the game will say no more. I feel like this... Is this a cause for concern, the way that this clip is currently going? Kovic, I feel like you would know. We'll see if we go through this wall anytime soon. If not, then I might just have to, you know, retry this, which seems like it might have to be the case. Seems like this is not going correctly. I should have been going through the wall at this point, I believe. Nope, there we go. I think maybe I was being a bit too concerned. I have no clue. Let's see. Maybe I'm... It's gone. Thank you for letting me know, table. I will now go back, try it again. That's what this clip is like. and runs as well. So all that save loading you just saw, we're gonna do some of that again. Good fun. So this is one of the only huge downsides about this game, in my opinion, is the lack of consistency with the clips in the mid-game section. The mid-game in this game is significantly worse than any other part of the game because of this particular clip, in my opinion. This is easily the worst strat in the game that we currently do. The questionable ethics skip would be worse than this, probably. Probably need to clip a bit more to the right. Let's try that. I'm gonna trust your judgment. That's the Mr. World Record holder table. I'm Mr. Second Place holder, alexh0w. Only a couple like 6 minutes behind table. So thankfully we're getting closer. He's kind of good at the video game. So eventually I might clip into the wall here. Worst case scenario, if this continues taking forever, I could very easily just go on to the next map through cheating. Ideally, we do not want to cheat because cheating in speedrunning is ill-advised. You do not want to cheat because you will, you'll get a nasty video made about you on YouTube, and you don't want that. So we're going to hopefully be able to do this normally. Am I the only one who dislikes loading clips? There is a category that actually has no clipping at all. So you might enjoy that category more, but there's a lot more cutscenes and a lot more downtime overall in the run as a result of the fact that you cannot clip. So unfortunately, the inevitable reality of life is that you either watch cutscenes or you clip through walls and look at loading screens. There we go. So that clip, thankfully, did not take nearly as long as it potentially could have. Of course, it still took an obscenely large amount of time, and it's not very happy. You're not a very happy runner when it takes that long, because that most likely means that your run is dead. So thankfully, this run will continue. Well, thankfully, depending on who you ask, I suppose. Either way, we're just going to keep going here, make our way through the end of surface tension, and have a good old time doing it. So we're going to slide up the hill. The sliding is particularly useful for going uphill, actually. Now that Gargantua is going to be chasing us, and we messed up. We messed up a little bit, so we're going to try again. Try that again. There we go. Look at that. Nice speedy boy over here. So we're going to get past all these trucks and stuff. I don't have any Gauss ammo, unfortunately, which I normally would use here to make this boost a little bit faster. And we're going to just boost above this wall. I'm going to get a grenade ready. Because as soon as this door gets to that point, I'm going to pick this up so that it resets its cooldown. And I'm just going to do a quantum pause boost here to get to the end of the map. So the game's probably going to crash right here. Right here. No, oh my god. We are getting blessed, boys. Oh. Forgot about that. I was too excited about the lack of crash. But we have another chance. We have another chance out. Chance for the crash. Come on, let's do it. Oh man. I could just be lying. But maybe there was no crash to begin with. You guys will never know. So I'm sure it's still coming. There's no way it's not coming. I've never finished a run of this game where it hasn't crashed at least once. Because video games. So either way, we're going to be dropping down there, taking a bunch of fall damage while we do it, but it really doesn't matter. Thankfully, this game is so lenient when it comes to taking extra unnecessary damage compared to Half-Life 1, where every single time a Vortigaunt looks at you, a fear is stricken into your heart because, oh man, maybe I'll lose a tenth of a second here. Speaking of losing time, we're trying to get out of the water here, and I don't know what I'm not landing on. What's happening actually? Can one of y'all one of the y'all Black Mesa runners tell me what's going on here? Because I'm very confused. I won't lie. Worst case scenario, I'll go around, but this is very questionable right now. If only Gordon could use his hands, indeed. Normally you're just supposed to get on this ledge here, but for some reason, Gordon isn't really feeling it. Okay, I'm just going to go around, I guess, because apparently... I'm going to try one more time, but if that doesn't happen, let's just keep going back through these saves. There we go. I'm going to try one more time here. Not entirely. Yeah, I don't really know what's causing that to not work. That is genuinely, you know, we're gonna use the meme words that you guys hear through all the speed runs. Is that is something I have not experienced before. I don't exactly know what caused that issue to take place. Table is currently also confused with his thinking emoji in the chat, so genuinely I don't exactly know what was going on there, but we're just gonna pretend that none of that ever happened and that we did that first try and we're moving on and we're save deleting again. Okay, excellent. Do a bit of a rocket jump there. Speaking of rocket jumps, Momentum Mod's coming out soon. It's a source-based game that has all this cool movement stuff. Pretty sure it's going to be free. So if you like source movement stuff, I'd look into Momentum Mod. It's going to be really cool. B-hopping, KZing, ABHing, jumping. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that later. I've never seen anyone have that issue of not being able to land on that ledge, and that's normally a strat that I get first try without question, because it's not really something you should have to question. It should always be something that you pretty much get right away, because it's not too difficult, but interesting. So I'm going to be doing a bit of a cool strat coming up here that hopefully I'll be able to get first try. So we're just waiting for this tank to spin around and shoot at this door for us. As soon as it does, come on, buddy. As soon as it does, we're going to walk through here. We're going to jump in the air, walk too far forward, and have to do it again. There we go. So all those enemies spawning actually can give you a really big boost in the direction that is opposite from where they're spawning. So if you use the quantum pause boosting, you can actually, or the quantum pause state, you can actually get a pretty significant boost off those enemies spawning, which is pretty cool. So now we're going to drop down here, spin around, not slow down enough because I am a silly, what? I was stuck on something. That was a very, very strange, what? I'm having some problems here with my brain right now, and don't worry about it. There we go, we did it. No issues were had at all. So now we're just gonna grenade boost up here, just skip taking the stairs, grab some armor, and move on. So now we're gonna get attacked by a bunch of ladies with nice flips and cool tricks, and we're just gonna kind of move away from that. Is your brain okay? It's doing all right. I have not slept enough in the previous couple days due to unrelated issues, but we're doing the best we can. So I'm healing here for, what am I doing? I just completely autopiloted there. I'm so sorry. We save delete here, and we move on with our lives, and we're gonna go fight some enemies. So these guys are gonna spawn. We're gonna kill them. Kill you. Kill you. Do. A little bit too early on that one. But there we go. We're all happy and healthy now, and we're gonna wait for this guy to drop this ladder and talk to us a little bit about some straws that he drew. I did have my coffee this morning, but I've not had any since around 8 a.m., so I suppose that could be the issue, but who knows. So anyway, this guy's going to talk to us a little bit about the next state of events. We're going to be going into the Lambda core reactor. It is where I imagine that all of the cooldown units and things that make hot things not hot are for nuclear power. So we're just going to let this guy teleport forward. He's got... On low textures, I don't know if you saw that mouth, but the mouths are very strange. We'll take a look at the mouths later on when we have a cutscene where we're going to have nothing better to do. We can analyze some of the weird low texture mouths that this game has to offer. So now we're going to ignore the big alien killing gun that was in that previous room, because as stated, we're going to save delete significantly amount more times in this run, so we will definitely get one. So we're going to drop down into this map. We're actually not going to save delete, shockingly. We're just going to go down the elevator, have a good time doing it. And we're going to be doing another one of those barrel clips that we've done a couple times in this run. Thankfully, barrel clips are fairly consistent overall. You'll pretty much never have a barrel clip that will take more than like 10 seconds at most. That's like if you're unlucky, I would say. We're just going to take this barrel, and we're going to take more than 10 seconds to do it because I was already talking. About 10 seconds. There we go. That was pretty fast. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the commentary. I'm doing my best, given the amount of loading screens that I am being presented with. And coming up very soon is the Zen chapters of the game, which if you haven't seen the Zen stuff in this game before, it's pretty, like, just from a casual point, like, of how it looks artistically and everything, it is pretty mind-blowing, I would say. The speedrun stuff is quite awesome as well, but even ignoring all the biased speedrun, trying to play myself up sort of stuff I'm doing, Zen's really, 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 really beautiful in this game. And it's like unreal that this like very small, probably not very funded team was able to make such an incredibly beautiful environment. But we're just gonna get there before we continue I was gonna say gloating, but I didn't make this game. Until we continue fluffing them up. So we're gonna do a bunch of grenade boosts to get up on this reactor, just being able to skip all these climbing little portions. And we're gonna jump through this neat hole in the wall. And we're going to get to the next map where... Oh no, the next map doesn't happen yet. There we go. Gushing, there you go. So we're gonna save delete one more time. As usual, nothing out of the ordinary here. The reason we want to save delete here in particular is because we need 3 SMG grenades. And I believe save deleting on the next map causes you to get 0 SMG nades for some reason. So we want to make sure that we get those SMG nades. Because again, they're a very hot commodity in this speedrun. So we're going to make our way through these hallways, hopefully not get jumped. Oh golly gee willikers. I got stopped by all of them. I'm also going on the wrong elevator. So we're going to go over here and ignore that I went into that room at all. And we're going to go through this little teleporter sequence where we're going to just have some good old time. I'm Alex. I don't know what you're talking about. I am right here. So we're going to look up there to know when to go into here. SMG jump over the wall. Super stylish like. And there it is. There's the game crash we were looking for. Oh, I got a gold on one of the splits. So there it is. There's the beautiful, what we've been waiting for this whole time, game crashing. That's an inevitable thing that will happen in this game. We're just going to relaunch the game, get right back into it. Unfortunate thing about this game, this version is just a bit unstable. So I'm going to make sure that it comes up on my OBS. We are good, and we're just going to get right back into it. So thankfully the crash has been happened. We don't have to worry about it happening again, most likely. There's plenty of other things that can happen that can cause issues having to close the game. For instance, we can get something called save corruption, which not only will cause my saves to be unloadable, but if I quit the game, it also won't close the game. I can't even alt F4 the game. I have to go into my task manager. So it's like, it loses you the most amount of time possible because it doesn't even close the game for you. It's the worst thing ever. Reset? I guess we could go back. This run isn't very good, but I don't think that would be good for the marathon.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, I think people would like to do their runs not at 4 in the morning if they're scheduled for 8 p.m. I'm not going to be the person to do that. So ideally, this cutscene is going to go by without me accidentally murdering the scientist twice, which happened yesterday in my no reset. Somehow was barely overestimate despite losing approximately 10 minutes to things that very silly things that never would have happened otherwise. So we're just going to kind of, I guess we can do some mouth analyzation now that we have nothing better to do. But you can also read some donations as well, if there's anything to read off.
Nope, no donations so far.
Brought back this way before the survey members started being
That's all right.
that is.
This guy's name's Hunter, by the way. I don't know why he was given a name out of everyone in the game. I guess it's because he has a head and a face instead of just wearing a hat all the time. But his hat is right here, so we can try to make him wear the hat again. But unfortunately, he will always deny it, and we'll just like fling it away. Gauss ammo? Where's the Gauss ammo? What? I didn't even know there was Gauss ammo here. What are you talking about? I always get the ammo later on. I don't know why I would get it now. There's more ammo on the next map.
You know as much about these creatures as anyone.
There is speed hopping. Basically, when you are sliding on the ground, when you hold control, you can slide on the ground, which allows you to maintain your speed very easily between jumps. But you have to be crouching. It's a hat trick. Ah,
Open the gates for you. And don't let hunters brash.
nice.
Frighten you. We've all been a wee bit rankled since the
All right, so now this lady's gonna give us possibly the best thing in this speed run. My favorite thing for the rest of the game.
Dr. Freeman.
Hurry up, lady. No, what are you, lady? What are you doing? Come on, go. There we go. You can rub yourself on the doors, like these doors. Oh yeah, look at that. That's actually something I'm gonna keep doing. Look at that. So this is the long jump module, which is dope. Look at this. Look how fast I go. Look how far I go. This is what we're gonna have for pretty much all of Zen. Yeah, I'm playing on 120 FOV because I'm a Quake player. It's inevitable in my genes that I have to do it.
I mean, speaking of Quake, we have Quake 2 coming up right after this game,
Right,
and then Quake. Quake Dix-01, that's the, I think, is that one of the levels? Or
I don't actually know. I think it might be like a mod pack or something, or a map pack or something.
yeah,
I'm not
right.
entirely sure.
Well, those
I saw
those
that.
players will be Brain Fluid and Sphere.
Brain Fluid, absolute beast at Quake 2. Look at this guy's goofy goggles. What a silly boy. But yeah, this is mostly just a little bit of a wait map. We have to go through this teleporter sequence, but thankfully there is things that we can shoot coming up soon. So we're just gonna keep jumping up here. We can say hi to him and just kind of chill with him up here. And I've had him heal me before somehow while being up here. I don't know if that was a coincidence and something else happened, but I got healed and it was weird. It's a custom map pack. There you go. So similar to the Doom WAD packs, I suppose. As someone who speedruns Quake, I know nothing about anything Quake related because I am the best at knowing things. Either way, we're waiting for all these enemies to spawn. We're gonna see small or like floating babies with big brains that we're gonna be shooting at. I don't actually remember the name of the enemy, but they're alien babies with big heads that fly around. That's how I will describe them from now on. Eventually they will start spawning. Here they are. Wait, look at these. You can ADS in this game, which I always forget about. And the revolver's really cool. You snipe things with it. So we're just gonna do some good old fashioned murder here. And we don't actually need to do any of this. This doesn't save any time or anything, but you know, I want to make this a little bit more interesting. So you can imagine that this is your favorite Doom Eternal stream, and we're just going to be jumping around all over the place and dashing and, you know, getting rid of all the enemies in a very cool way and using an SMG nade that I shouldn't have used because that was silly, but that's fine. We don't actually need it. So we can get our Gauss rifle out. We can shoot a big enemy with it. And we've unfortunately murdered everything already, so we're kind of already done. They're not Nihilants. There is one Nihilanth that we know of, at the very least. Who knows what will change. Oh, hey. Oh, we have another one. I don't want to use that, actually. Oh, whoops. There we go. We're going into Zen. Yeah, hound eyes are lovely. I love hound eyes. Pup time. So we're going into Zen. Play your favorite British sci-fi intro. I made the joke already earlier, but whatever. Just like this alone is already really cool. Like this doesn't happen in the original game. All that squandered ammo is giving me an aneurysm. You're acting like I'm gonna need any of that ammo and that I'm not just gonna save delete in 2 maps. Like, I don't know. Either way, more importantly, we are gonna be waking up, grabbing our crowbar, and continuing onward. And just look at this. Look how, I mean, the textures are all on lows, but it doesn't look as good as it could, and it looks even better on the 1.0 release. But like, I'm just gonna take a second to just, you know, appreciate the view that they want you to appreciate, because goddamn, like, this game is fucking what? I'm sorry about that, but Jesus, this game is unbelievably good looking. More importantly, let's go speedrun. And speedrun we shall, except for that whole messing up thing. Don't worry about that. We're just going to take the casual route and go into this teleporter. You can actually just go right to the end of the map right away if you don't mess up those boosts, but I messed up the boost because I'm a literal child. Either way, we're going to continue onward. This is the indoor section of this chapter Zen here. So if you know Half-Life 1, Zen is divided into 4 chapters, 2 of them being boss chapters and 2 of them being regular exploration, fighting, combat puzzles, all that sort of chapters. However, in Half-Life 1, Zen was a singular map long. Gonarch lair was 2 maps long. Interloper had like 4 or 5, and then Nylon was also 1 map. So it was all entirely super short, super kind of anticlimactic considering how great Half-Life was up until Zen. And then Zen just kind of wasn't too fantastic. I will be the first to say that. But in this game, Zen alone is like 6 or 7 maps or something, and they're all giant, huge maps, huger than any map in any other Source game. Like, some of these maps go beyond Hammer limits, literally. They had to make like new versions of Hammer, the map editor, to decompile these maps and make them playable and everything. It's like absurd what had to be done to make all this work, but they made it work, and it's really cool. Please stop. If you didn't see, those zombies actually are wearing HEV suits, so they're actually people who have been sent over from Black Mesa prior to this, but got infected from a head crab. So there are 20 Zen maps. There you go. There's not really any collectible that you could get to contribute to 100%. You could probably do like an all achievements run of some sort, but it would involve a lot of really awful achievements that you really wouldn't want to do. So there's really, unfortunately, no like completionist categories for any Valve games, just because there isn't really a good... Oh, there's another game crash. That was a weird one. I've never had a game crash there. There we go. Okay, thankfully we're doing pretty good on our real time. We have a good amount of time to have our game crash over and over again, so we can do that a couple more times if we really want to. I have thought of Touch Every Barrel in Half-Life 1 for a completionist category. I'm very desperate for any... If anyone has any good ideas, please let me know for any completionist categories for Half-Life games, because I really want one, but all the ideas I have are terrible, because I can't think of anything fun. That wasn't a save corruption. That was just a game crash, I'm pretty sure. If my game crashes again here, then we know. Oh, hey, there's this thing. I thought it was like a little bug in front of me. I'm sorry. That freaked me out. It was very spooky. Did not want to see that. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to boost around these like tiny little islands. This is kind of an outdated strat, but I haven't had time to learn new things. And this one's pretty hard. So we're able to do that. And now we're going to use this long jump boost to boost onto this tree branch, which will allow us to get onto this tree branch, which will allow us to traverse this tree branch. So this introduces these little flower things that we need to be shooting at, and when shooting at these things, they open up these bigger leaves that are blocking our paths. This next map is going to be making this a bit more complicated by having a hub area with 3 branching paths that we have to all get rid of the flowers from. So we're going to quickly save delete. We're going to quickly save delete. We're gonna start charging our Gauss in order to do Gauss boost off of these launch pads. I want to grab... Where is it? There we go. I'm gonna grab this stuff. The new strat is basically doing the launch from a different position on that map. Nothing too extraordinary. It's just I never bothered learning it yet. But either way, this first branching path here, we have a bunch of these explosive flowers and a bunch of trip mines. So this is basically a make one wrong move. There it is. Make one wrong move and you're dead. I was waiting for the dead part because I heard the explosion and was like, okay, when's it coming? So these head crabs are really the biggest culprits of the whole death thing. They can say, you know, they just kind of jump around and just kind of don't care about you at all. So they just kind of will do that, and it's quite a good, jolly good time. So we're gonna do a grenade boost from that platform so we can fall down into here. You could actually go through the exit of this flower path, but you actually have to go through and hit a trigger that's back there roughly in order to destroy the flower, so you can't unfortunately skip that part. So we're gonna kill all those barnacles while we're waiting for this one to lick us up here. We're gonna drop off and shoot the second flower. And now the third flower, definitely my favorite path. We're gonna use the rocket launcher to do a really neat boost. So here we go. We're going to do one jump, two jumps, fail, reload. Try once more. So the weird thing about doing these boosts is that if you are on any sort of slanted, that's not it. That works. If you're on any sort of slanted surface, you will get boosted, or you will not be able to boost yourself because this game is wacky. And what happened there was I pulled out the wrong gun and then switched guns and still managed to do the strat because I'm cool like that. So here, we want to try to boost ourselves to get up to that cliff, but unfortunately I did not get the jump that I needed in order to get up on that cliff. So we're going to reload a previous save and try it again because this is a pretty finicky strat when you start it halfway through. We're going to do this. There we go. Fly up here. Bit of a slow launch there, and we unfortunately don't have any more Gauss, which would be nice because we want to be able to do this boost, and it's a lot easier to do if you have Gauss ammo. This boost is going to allow us to go over a very big clip rush that is blocking us from being able to continue past this part, which we successfully did there. And we're just going to use this third grenade because we're going to be save deleting on the next map anyway. So might as well get rid of it just for the funsies of making a big launch that ended up probably losing me time anyway. So there we go. Next map, we're going to save delete here because we would actually save delete on the map after this, but for some reason, some maps, they did not put the default items that save deleting normally gives you. I suppose they just didn't really need to playtest that map from that point or something. I'm not entirely sure why that would be the case, but you know, video games are strange. We all know this better than pretty much anyone. So on this map, we're going to be going through the underground sections, caves of the Zen world. Something I really like about this game's rendition of Zen is it makes Zen look more like a world instead of just a bunch of rocks floating in impossible ways that no one would be able to live at. I don't know how any of those creatures were going to be living there. Zen is technically a border world. These creatures came to this world because they were overtaken by the Combine on their home planet. So this basically was just the available world that they could use because theirs was kind of messed up. They kind of had the Half-Life 2 happen. So we are now on this map. We're going to do a triple satchel boost, which is something you're going to be hearing a lot more of in the future. We're just going to listen to this nice music for a bit. And we're going to just do some puzzles over here. You can also read some donations and stuff if you need to. We're basically just going to be going through this map pretty casually, just doing everything fast.
Yeah, no donations since the last time either.
Okay, no problem. Still got some nice music. We're basically, this is the map from the last, or the map of Zen from Half-Life 1 is this map, except it is significantly bigger and you have significantly more to do. Normally, you would just hit 3 buttons and you'd be done. But here, you have to hit 3 buttons that are separated by a lot of other things that you have to do. So we're going to wait for this door to open, and we're going to do some of these puzzles. There we go. We'll go in this elevator. And puzzle room number 1. So what we need to do is we need to mess with some wires. And We have to put this one in the middle. Very hard puzzle. Easy to forget. So we can get this this device, this crystal, I should call it. Said crystals we need to put inside of these crystal receivers. Once we do that 4 times on this map for 3 teleporters, and then the final teleporter, or the final button that we have to hit needs a crystal as well, we can move on. So, to skip this outside part, we're going to go up and around by using that tree branch. Neat little movement method with the long jump module. And we're going to go over this big gap, hit this button, move our way into another nice little room of flowers. If you remember this from before, this was always good fun. This took me a very, very long time to figure out casually because I didn't know you could take this out. Very high IQ. So I just kind of walked around and tried to figure out what I was doing for about an hour. There was also a really awful noise that was playing, and if you guys want, I could play the noise, but I don't think any of you want that. And also, I'm dead, so you're going to hear it anyway. Oh, it's not playing. Why isn't it playing? Huh, that's weird. So basically there's a really weird, awful noise that would start playing it whenever you would load a save on this map, and it's not happening this time, so that's pretty nice. So we need to blow up that big crystal because it will make a small crystal appear, and conveniently the exact same shape and size that we are used to using in these crystal receivers. So that's very convenient, especially because the rest of it seemed to completely dissipate into thin air. So kind of lucky, got lucky with that one. I'm gonna put that in there. The awful voice is actually my voice the whole time. Or the awful noise, excuse me. I'm jumbling over my words an unbelievable amount right now. It's wonderful. But moving on to the 3rd puzzle room. We just need to get over there real quick. Going along the outside to do so. Don't fall, please. Thank you. Get rid of those explosive hound eyes. Do the same thing as before. Literally the exact same pathing and everything. It's pretty good. And we're just going to immediately go to the right, get rid of these lasers, throw this boy over there. And if you get really lucky with these, why do I keep calling them lasers? Wires. If you get really lucky, you can have these things kind of just swing into the holes that they need to fill up. Unfortunately, that's hard to do. It almost happened there. This is the long wire. It needs to go in that one. You can get the short wire to do that, and it will not work because the game really wants you to put the right wires in the right places. It's really important for that circuit that the long wire goes on the long wire part. It's just very strange. And now we're pretty much done with this long puzzle map. We just have one more thing to wait for, and that is I need to grab this crystal, throw it over there, and we can hit this button to move on to the next chapter of the game. So, gonna just kind of wait for this thing to activate. Gonna open this door for us, and we can now jump into the portal that will take us to Gonarch's lair. Now, the Gonarch, or also known as the Gonarch, is a mama head crab. It's what makes head crabs and spawns them. We're not going to actually see too much of the Gonarch in this run. Despite this being a chapter entirely dedicated to her and her existence, we're not going to see too much of her. Please save delete. I've put the short wire on in numerous runs and been really confused as to what was going on. But either way, we're not gonna even say hi to the Gonarch. We're not gonna see any sort of Gonarch in this run. We're just gonna do a boost over here, mess it up, because we are good at the video game. We're gonna try that one more time. We're gonna try that one more time, and if I don't get it then we'll see what happens. All right, there we go. We won't have to see what happens, thankfully. I did not want to have to go to that point. But that's good. Okay. So now we're out of bounds a little bit. This is not in the void. It's weird. This is still part of the inbounds map, but it's not in the void, so we can freely move around like normal. Go to the left side. I do speedrun this game, Kovic. Don't worry. Oh, I thought you were talking about at the end there. Earlier, that advice would have been helpful, yes. But either way, we're gonna go through this incredibly long load screen, and we're gonna save load because we need to save load before each save delete. So we're gonna save load. We're gonna wait a little while. We're gonna save delete. And we're gonna wait a little bit more, and after this, we'll be free to game for a little bit before we inevitably have to save delete again. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna hit this. The game's teaching you about fire mechanics, so we're going to have to deal with some fire mechanics. It's a smart gameplay device used to educate the players. Do stuff like that. Either way, you can now shoot this, and it has a little web here. There's also some oil on the ground that's going to burn away. So yeah, we're going to have to deal with all this fire. So we're now going to jump over here. Yep, I sure did hit that shot. Good work, NA aim. And we're going to throw that satchel down, do a boost off of it. I'm not doing the crystal jump because I don't know how to do it anymore. So don't yell at me, other runners, that I'm doing a baby strat. Well, it's not quite never-ending darkness. We're not like talking Kingdom Hearts here. We're talking like the darkness ends eventually, but it ends in a game crash. So take that as you will. So we're gonna do a little bit of a rocket jump here. Oh, I didn't do it very well. I was gonna say shoutouts to Team Fortress 2 for teaching me to rocket jump, but now I'm gonna make the game look bad because I just did not do that very well. Hey there. How's it going? I didn't even know you were there. So now that we're done with that, this is the most normal map on this chapter. So we're going to charge up this Gauss, have that happen, and we're going to boost our way over here. Hopefully the Gonarch doesn't instantly murder us, because it tends to do that. And now this is probably the longest loading screen in the game, so we're just going to chill out for a bit, taking my hands off the keyboard. Not actually, because I do have to react to save load. It's like, so how you guys doing while we wait? Have a little bit. We have one more loading screen to go through, so we have some time to get to know each other. Unfortunately, that time has come to a close. So we can now play the game again finally. And what's even better is that it's actually a little bit faster in-game time to do a fourth save load after you do the save delete. So keep in mind that if you want to be an optimal speedrunner, you have to watch another loading screen every single time you do a save delete. It doesn't save too much time, but it's like if you do it, 20 times over the course of a run, it's not the best. But yeah, these maps are so ridiculously big, and Source is not a particularly optimized engine for loading because it was made in 2004, originally at least, so it's a little bit old, and things sometimes don't work too great. So the loading screens are definitely a problem with the run. The run is fantastic even despite all of the loading screen problems. Speaking of awful, is we're going to try to clip through the ceiling here using these satchels. Which can be easier said than done. And hey, guess what? Every time we mess this up, we're going to be doing this again. So I really apologize if this takes me more than like 2 tries. Because I really don't want to put you guys through more of this. This is so sad. This is so sad. It's unfortunate that this strat is as hard as it is because, this is just the saddest thing that you have to... If every time you mess this up, it's like a really, really painful feeling in your heart that just you're just gonna be bored. What a setup! I haven't seen that before. What setup are you talking about? Is there a setup for this that people use? Because I've always just kind of winged it and it's always working, except for this time, the time that it matters. Worst case scenario, if this takes me a couple more tries just to save y'all's life a bit more, you get the picture. I'll eventually just no clip down or up and around because there is a setup. I should probably learn that to hear more of your wonderful voice. Is that trying to say something? Okay, so I'm gonna give it like 3 3 or 4 more. Other setups very consistent. Dang, I should have known that was a thing. That's unfortunate. Oh. Almost there. Can we do this? This might be 200 IQ. But if it ends up going the way that I think it's going to go, then I'm probably just not going to do this. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to give it one more go here before doing a little bit of a cheat. Just because I really don't want to put you guys through this anymore. And there we go. So we're gonna do a small cheat just because this strat's awful. And there we go. No cheating involved. You didn't see anything, so don't worry about that. For the sake of entertainment, I think this is the best call because that strat is just ridiculously hard. Apparently, because there's now a setup that I never knew about. Unfortunate. But either way, we're gonna do another satchel boost right here to get above all of this. And it didn't work, which is really cool. So another loading screen involved. I don't know why that didn't work, but whatever. Don't worry about it. It's unfortunate that I had to use NoClip for something that I wasn't expecting to have to use NoClip for that. I was expecting it to be necessary at some point in the run just because of how much stuff can go really bad, but I wasn't expecting it there. So now we can get into the backside of the end of the map here. Eventually we'll be able to like squeeze our way in there. This map is really something else, I gotta say. It's really, really awful. The map is like really particularly awful just because of this gosh darn loading screen. We're so close. Just get it over there, please. We did it. I was really overcomplicating that, but now we finally had done it. So now we're going into the Interloper chapter. Yes, that was Gonarch lair. I don't know. We saw her for a bit. We said hi to her a couple times. We chilled next to her and basked in her glory for a little bit. But now we're moving on to Interloper. Second to last chapter and the final chapter of the like regular traditional chapters in this game, since the last one is a final boss. So Interloper, starting off with a triple satchel boost. You're going to be hearing this pretty much every single map. And we're going to do this. And there's that map done pretty much, except we messed up, so we have to do a little bit of extra maneuvering over here. Just ignore all this. Normally you won't see this if you're watching someone who knows what they're doing. Keep in mind, I am the second place runner of this game, so you are watching some of the most quality gameplay you will see. So we're going to be trying to make our way through all this goo as quickly as we can, using both the Gauss rifle as well as our long jump module, until we can finally get to the end of the map here. So this is possibly my favorite map in the casual run, but in the speed run, it's nothing too special. This map is basically in a very, very long maze of running around and getting chased by really big enemies that you really don't want to be fighting. I don't know if it's even possible to kill all these things. I guess with the Hornet gun, you have infinite ammo technically, so you could, I imagine, but I know I'm not first place, yikes. Either way. So climbing up here, we also get some neat music I kind of like in this map. What? But yeah, this basically we were constantly getting chased by these big enemies. The biggest, baddest foe you could possibly fight. This kind soul over here. He's just having a grand old time with that wall. Because we skip past that wall, which skips a pretty much like half the map for some reason. Very, very nice skip though. Very, very nice that we could just do that and just kind of get to right towards the end. If we could get up there, that would be lovely. There we go. So we can do a Gauss boost there to go a little bit faster. Do a Gauss boost. Keep going with that Gauss. Keep it rolling. And now that we've done that, we're gonna go inside this really goofy octopus-looking face. Look how silly this structure looks. I think this is the best thing ever. Just look at this. Look at this goofy boy. Come on. Can't not love that. So either way, we're going to be moving on here. This is a map that you don't actually have to save delete on, which is, I believe, the only one upcoming that we can say that for. What we need to do here, grab some HP and ammo here. So I mentioned no-clip earlier. These vents actually give you no-clip temporarily. So in Half-Life 2 speedruns, if you've not seen one of those before, there is a strat in those games that involves getting no-clip from a vehicle, because when you enter vehicles in Half-Life 2, you actually get temporary no-clip. So they figured out that you could actually delete the boat and retain the no-clip and use it to get a different strat or a different mechanic called quick clip. Either way, quick clip is most likely not going to be possible in this game, but you could theoretically get no clip off of those vents if we could figure out some way to do it, because there's likely a way to do it that we just don't know of yet, knowing how Source is. So yeah. We're going to be save deleting once again here. Despite our HP being really good here, we're going to be going real big places with our explosive boosting. So we want to make sure we have as much going on as possible. So we have now 60 armor, 100 HP, which is going to be just enough to do this. I haven't learned the new setup for this yet, so let's hope we can get this quickly. That we cannot. So this is a neat little strat that I tried routing in, but it's hard, where we basically need to do a double long jump boost. What? Hello? Let's try that one more time. Try it one more time. And by one more time, I mean until we get it. There we go. So you basically do a Gauss boost into that pipe right behind us, and we can use that to gain a ton of height. This is going to allow us to get to the end of, or the next part of this map real quick. We're going to do a messed up SMG nade boost because I am very big brained right now. We're going to try it one more time. I'm going to try that one more time because I aimed ridiculously far away. I'm just doing all sorts of goofy things right now. There we go. Now, the reason we wanted to do all of that was because we wanted to preserve as much HP as possible so we can do 4 trip mines and 1 satchel. And the Gordon's about to experience some real pain in the next couple maps. There's a lot going on in Gordon's life right now. He's not having a good time with all of the pain that he's going to be going through from these explosives. Why are you so far to the left? Get back in the middle. You want these explosives to be fairly centered when you're doing these boosts, because otherwise you're going to get like really far in one particular direction, even if the satchel's only a tiny bit misplaced. You really want to make sure everything is directly opposite of you so that you go in a completely straight line when you do these boosts. So once again, we are going to save delete. So we're going to do some more of these Gauss action, and then we're going to be doing some more of that explosive boosting action. So we're going to get 3 satchels ready here, and we're going to get a trip mine down as well. Just for some safety, so I don't have to load more saves, I'm going to get some extra HP here. Normally you don't need the HP to do this, but I just like to make sure that I won't have any issues with having to load more times, and there you go, I have to load again. Excellent stuff. So all that safety, all that time lost from that backup, we're just going to keep doing it. There we go. Okay. We're all good. We're all good in the speed run. We're doing just fine. Okay, there we go. The end of that map. I want you guys to predict in the chat what we're going to be doing next. Which you already see it, so it didn't really work too. That joke didn't really work out too well, so that's okay. So you can pretty much tell what I'm doing at this point. Usual stuff: explosive boosting, trying desperately to get up here. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna be stopped here because we are not a incubation egg pod for an alien grunt, and it will realize that and put us out here instead. So all of these pods that are like rolling around, those green things, all of those are the alien grunts that we've been fighting a bit throughout the run. So those things are big bad enemies, and you know, in casual gameplay, those are generally the things that you're worried the most about because they're the biggest, baddest boys other than the gargantuas. do this thing again. So the idea that they are just kind of creating this giant army is kind of unnerving, considering those things can be a little bit messed up to fight. And they basically just have this entire map is basically just a giant factory creating this army. 4 trip mines and some satchels. There you go. Thank you for spoiling it, table. Gosh. Mr. World Record Holder thinking he has all this privilege, you know? So we're going to do another boost. Actually, I don't know if this is the one you were talking about, but what the heck? You can't land on this? Let's try that one more time. Okay, there we go. Not too bad. You can get that boost all the way to the end of the map, but it is not really worth reloading over unless you end up going off the map like I did. But yes, this one up here is 4 trip mines and 2 satchels on the next map here. So this is the biggest boost in the game that we're going to be doing, and most importantly, there's something very important on this map that we need to do before we do that boost. It is the highlight of this run. If you guys have heard of the video game, the glorious video game Shower with Your Dad Simulator in 2019, one of those interesting Steam games, we're going to be showering with a Vortigaunt simulator coming up here in a little bit of a second. It's going to be a grand old time. So we can just kind of chill with this boy, get to know him real well, spend some nice time with him. My roommate started putting on some nice EDM or techno in the background, so hopefully that's not coming up. So we're just going to kind of wait for this to happen. There it is. So now that we've done that, we can continue to do the big, bad, boosty boy that we're going to be doing right here. So again, 2 satchels. Right to the opposite of those, we're going to put 2 trip mines. Or 4 trip mines, rather. 2 each on each set. And we're going to boost off this pillar and hit the wall, ceiling, like, instantly. That was possibly the lowest launch I could have gotten. Let's try that again. Boom, baby. This should be it. Nice and clean boost. I like that. That's what you like to see. Very clean. Not super fast, because you can actually go to the very top, but as a nice backup, instead of going to the very top, we can just try to get some strafes in there. Some nice LJ strafes. If you're into KZ, you know what that is. Make it our way to the end of the map. 2 tries on that. Very solid. Very happy. Do you know, is there a setup for that one too? Because that's not hard enough to warrant a setup, in my opinion. I've grinded that for a bit, though, because back when I ran this originally, that really messed me up. And knowing there's a setup now, I should probably learn that. If you can't tell, my strats are a little bit outdated, but that's okay. So we're going to be doing our second to last save delete of the run, which is very, very exciting, considering there are 3 maps left. That's generally pretty expected. So we're just going to immediately shoot this, which will give us a big old boost over here. And now we're going to be doing a rocket jump. Now, sad thing about this rocket jump is that there's music that's supposed to play during this sequence, but it's going to not play for another minute or 2. Very, very thankfully, there are multiple triggers to start the music on this elevator, because it's supposed to start playing certain parts of the song at certain points of this fight. So, we're just going to be awkwardly sitting here without Joel Nielsen's incredible songs to keep us company, but we're just going to have to kind of make do with that for a little bit longer. It'll come back eventually, though. Yeah, this map is insanely big, and it is entirely vertical, and there's absolutely, like, no currently known way that we could potentially skip this, which is unfortunate, but we're going to do our best. So yeah, we're just kind of hanging out, waiting for the music to start. Fighting some more brain babies. Maybe try some of these boys out. Try out our other weapons, you know? No one wants to see Doomstreamer using only the shotgun in their casual playthrough. Even though it's so good, you don't want to see that. Has infinite glue-on ammo. Look, I'm not trying to use the obvious choice. I need to keep it fresh for the fans, you know? There it is. Here it is. So we're gonna, for this, we're gonna immediately shoot 2 rockets at these, and assuming that we get good luck, which we did, we can immediately kill this brain thing. We don't even have to get off the elevator. So we're just going to keep rising up. We have to do, there's going to be one more open sequence. There's going to be one more layer where we have to do some of that destroying shield business. And then we have one more segment after that. So we have a couple minutes left of here. If there's anything that needs to be read, you can feel free to chime in whenever on that. We're just going to be chilling here for a bit.
All right. No donations, but I'd just like to say that it's been great restreaming this marathon. We have a bunch of people working really hard in the background, and I think this year has been a record for a number of players as well, or runners. So it's always fun to provide something for this community, and of course providing or doing the streaming on the ESA channel. They're very yeah, they gave us access to the channel, and we're very happy to provide some speedrunning content. Thanks.
I didn't know that was going to happen if I used the say command. Is that so I used the say command, which normally is just supposed to put some messages in the chat, but it crashed my game, so I guess I know that now. Which is like, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, right? Like I've ran source games. I've been playing source games at this point for like 8 years. It's like my main engine. But apparently, I'm glad I didn't do that, because I was gonna do that during test chamber and I didn't. But what is up with my frame rate? Let's go. Okay, there we go. We're back. My frames were really struggling there as well for some reason, and that's what I was trying to type out. So I quantum paused because that doesn't pause the gameplay, so I would keep moving up the elevator. I could type to you guys, but apparently it caused some other issues. Let me out, please. Yeah, we basically just need to destroy 3 different shield things here. And then murder these boys. And we're going to be on our merry way. Don't you love when the good part of the song comes on when you're done with everything? If you take too long, you can run out of elevators. So in case you take too long to figure out that you can shoot the bramble out of the way to get the thing to take you, if you take a couple minutes or a couple hours on that or whatever, then you'll have some problems. But yeah, so we're closing in on the end of the run here. We're going to get bamboozled a little bit here. We're gonna, like, oh hey, we're almost done with the map. Look at that. Oh no. Oh no. Some more babies are trying to drag us down. We can't have that. So they're shocking us with this surprise tactic to get rid of our elevator going up strategy. They figured out how to stop us, but what they didn't know is that they are very easy to kill, and this is easy difficulty, so there's not really any chance. There's literally, I think, like a 0% chance that anyone could actually die here on easy. So yeah, we're just gonna keep going. Wait, do you guys skip this now? Can you skip this with like save loading or something, table? I feel like that should be a thing. Could we save load past this? I'm theorizing like new tricks on the stream, because that's what you do. I'm gonna try that out later. It's save load past that trigger potentially. Who knows? I'm sure that would provide very exciting gameplay. More loading screens, exactly what this run needs. So, we are going to the final boss of the game now. Very exciting stuff. We're getting caught on the walls and everything. That is a theory. Oh, I'm going to test it out later. But either way, look at all this pretty stuff. Beautiful. Just going to keep pretending like I'm doing something here. And look at that. That was really fast. I was not expecting that to work out. There you go. That's speedrunning right there. So we need to make our way into this teleporter, and the final boss is right behind it. So we're going to be coming up on time in about 2.5 to 3 minutes or so. This is quite the long fight, but we're going to do it as quickly as we can. So to start off the fight, most exciting thing, more loading screens, because we need to get some rockets. And that is the final save delete of the game. We are free from loading screens, everybody, unless I mess up. or in case I just want to throw another one in there for fun. So this is a very angry baby who's causing all sorts of problems. So what we need to do is we need to use our rocket launcher to blow up these crystals that are causing this guy's shields to form. Basically, these crystals are all, you know, they're zapping the shields, allowing his shields to be infinite. So we don't want infinite shields, so we need to get rid of that. And we're going to start shooting this one. Eventually, we're going to get some resubs to spawn that will give us our rocket ammo back. Come on, where are you? I hear you. I hear you. You're somewhere. There it is. So we can go over here, get us some of our rockets back, and we can finish this off. Come on, get out of here. What? Get out of here. Okay, there we go. So now what we're going to want to do while this scene part is playing out, we're going to start throwing these satchels. Actually, you're supposed to do this earlier, but I'm just going to do it now. We're going to throw out all these satchels, and we're going to start by shooting the gluon at him. We're supposed to use the rocket for that. It doesn't matter. You're not supposed to do anything. You're just supposed to murder him. He's already doing this, apparently, so we blow all of them up at the same time. That's supposed to take 3 different phases, but if you put all 3 of those satchels down, it'll immediately end the phase. And now he's real mad. He's real mad. He's going super baby, and he's going to start really trying to mess our stuff up. But we're just going to keep shooting rockets at him. Okay, it's going to provide a shield pretty soon. We're just going to keep shooting at him to make that shield spawn. Come on. Okay. Wait, he just did not spawn a shield there. That was... What? What? Hello? Alright, well, time's coming up in 3, 2, now. Sorry, bad countdown, but there you go. I anticipated that taking a second longer. But there we go. That's Black Mesa. First marathon run I've ever done of this game. I think the first marathon run done with Zen included in it. So hopefully this was a good showcasing of the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed all of the stuff going on. But yeah, that's Black Mesa. We did it. That's the fastest island fight I ever seen. How long was it in... well, what was that run in game time? We'll figure it out. We're going to be hopping off here really soon, but... latest run, real time.
I think it was 1 hour 55:23 or so.
Okay. Seemed like my in-game time was a 1:33, which is about 5 minutes off my PB, which is not bad. It was off by a lot more of my real time because I did not crash 3 times in my PB, but that's exactly what you want for a marathon run. But either way, we're going to keep this marathon going, try to catch up a little bit. So thank you guys for having this game. Very excited to showcase this game at more marathons in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to get into this game, join the Discord. We're always looking for new people. This game's a lot of fun despite all the loading screens, trust me. If you can look past that, then this game's a fantastic speedrun. So I'd love to see more people getting into it, especially with all the hype around Half-Life these days. So have fun with the rest of the marathon. Enjoy Quake 2 coming up with Brain Fluid.